I can hear you.
All right, we are live, everybody. Hi, hold on, let me adjust the mic. I'm not that tall.
You got it.
Woo!
Damn, you just throwing mic pieces at me?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Is this? No.
Make sure you pop.
You're the
get up on
professional,
Shopify
I'm not.
and buy another one of these clips.
No, don't say anything. Put it back. Okay, you know what? We're just going to have to roll with it. I'll tighten this. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Hello, welcome, everybody. My name is Taylor. I go by Taylor
You got
Lindsay.
these parts right
also
here.
the plant plug. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, it's my first time.
What's up, man?
This is my
to the plant plug.
This is actually the first ever PPP podcast. The podcast where the feds may be watching, but they're not coming for you. How you feeling about that?
The PPP podcast.
Yes, the Plant Plug podcast for the people, by the people.
Oh, I love it.
Everybody, thank you. And we love you. Everybody, this is Steven Marcus. Can you say your last name for me correctly, please? Releford. Don't forget it. Yeah. He is a comedian extraordinaire. We actually go way back like car seats. We may big it up later on how we actually met. He is also plant-based, if you don't mind me sharing that. He's a black man, if you haven't noticed yet. Mm-hmm. And he also has the cause coming through. There's a lot going on. If I didn't introduce you well enough already, tell the people about you.
Well, thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and you did do a terrific job introducing me. My name is Steven Marcus Releford. I go by Marcus. I go by Steven. I go by Bathrobe Steve. Oh. You can call me a lot of things. Just don't call me late for dinner, you know,
right.
And make sure that it's plant-based. So, yeah, we go way back. And I'm getting ready to step into the harm reduction and drug safety space. And you're assisting me with that, and I'm really excited to reconnect and reconvene around some type of, elements of social disobedience and, like, advocating for something that definitely needs to be done or have, like, a real response to. Even around the time where we met, I had just lost a friend that you met, Silent J.
Yeah.
He was, battling addiction and recovery and stuff like that. So I feel like this effort has kind of been a long time coming. And it's kind of unfortunate that we wait on, it to kind of hit our door to be more proactive about it. But, yeah, man, out of the pain comes some positivity, So, yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm getting ready to do a monthly comedy drug workshop around drug safety, harm reduction, best practices. And I'm figuring it out because I don't know how much of that work has been done already.
Right.
And I don't want to be it's a touchy subject, So I feel like as much good comedy can do, I think you have to be really constructive of how you do that.
Right. Your phone's on low battery. Thank you. You know what? I feel as if we're all, going like just playing it by ear. And you are very much correct. I actually don't feel as though a lot of work has been done in that area, period. It's just a lot of prevention. A lot of push on abstinence. We all grew up during Just Say No. We're the same age?
I'm 32.
Okay, we're about the same. I keep getting around 32-year-olds. I don't know what's up with that. So 89 must have been popping. Must have been popping. Yeah. Like, we might die. It's almost 1990. Might as well get these babies made. So in my experience, and I'll go more into detail the day of the event. What day is the event, by the way?
It's Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th, October 15th.
Yeah, it's going to be in Arts District.
Art District's downtown Los Angeles. And then also tickets are still free on Eventbrite if anybody wants to check that out. And also you are giving away free harm reduction kits, correct?
Yes,
and that would include Narcan.
Mm-hmm.
And
testing strips. And then we're also going to have people do like low-level resuscitation techniques and just talking about how to deal with the police. If you ever have to call the police during a overdose, and even using the term overdose, we're trying to stay away from using that language, especially with dealing with the police.
Yes.
Like, we know what overdose is, but it tends to be that if you are unfortunately around that type of situation and you call an ambulance, they drag their feet if you let them know that it's an overdose and it's a drug-related issue, as opposed to just saying they're unresponsive.
Or not breathing.
Yes. They're unconscious, because then they actually use the type of speed that they should get over there,
right?
As opposed to being like, oh, these are just some kids and they weren't paying attention and they're foul play, yada yada yada. But I also think that goes into the stigmatism and like the lack of response too, because any little bit of research you do about fentanyl, it doesn't take long to see how there's government operatives or police that are involved. It was just in Oklahoma where 2 sheriffs got caught with 8 kilograms.
Oh, that was Oklahoma. Why did I think that was in Long Beach?
Well,
sorry, it's not funny.
No, it's not funny, but in Riverside, there was a couple with 21 kilograms. That's right in our backyard.
Yeah.
And they said it had enough to kill 50 million people.
Yeah, it only takes a matchstick head amount. And like you were saying, there is no harm reduction because people are going to use regardless. And when it comes to anything about drug education, it's either prevention, guilt-ridden abstinence, or rehab, which is already too late. Rehab is already too late. If you're lucky, you get to go to rehab. If you're lucky, you get to go to jail. If you're lucky, you get to go to detox. Some people don't pass go and collect $200 and go straight to the grave. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people pass like that actually made an attempt to stay clean. And the thing that has not really taught or talked about, I have seen it once at downtown LA Proud. They had I don't know if you could find it. It's actually a graph of what not to mix.
Oh,
I've never seen that before, and it was big. It was huge. I need to
look for that.
Look for that graph because they know people are going to get messed up. In the LGBTQI community, I don't even know if people still use QUI, or the LGBT plus community are one of the highest demographics of drug usage. And then with also the field you work in. How many of our favorite comedians died of?
Lately, it's all of them, almost. It feels like all of them. I mean, A.J. Johnson had he just passed, and I believe that was, I would do some more research, but I think behind the scenes it was like, oh, this was possibly some drug related stuff. We just had Fu Quan, who's a colleague and a friend of mine, who was a hilarious comedian out here in LA, and unfortunately him, Natalie, and Iruko, I'm sorry, they all passed along with doing cocaine with Kate Quigley, who survived.
Oh, he survived.
She survived.
Oh, she survived. I'm sorry.
Kate Quigley survived that incident, but 3 others didn't.
Oh.
She basically woke up with 3 people in her place already deceased.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in a public arena?
Not this particular thing. They were just kind of doing like an after party situation.
I understand
picked
that.
up, and she went to sleep. They had all done it. She actually woke up allegedly paralyzed from like the waist down, you know, so she wakes up paralyzed. She's like, what the hell is going on? This is just from my understanding of it. She's yelling for people. Neighbor comes, essentially, you know, they're like, oh shit, look at, there's 3 bodies here. And I just find it was pretty disturbing the way that TMZ.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the TMZ post.
Yeah, because TMZ and New York Post and a few other websites, they dedicated a lot of ink to minimize them and kind of.
Here today, gone tomorrow. It's just really disrespectful.
NY Post was like, their headline was "Jokes Over."
No.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. It was so disheartening. I was just like, wow. And to be a black man, and then he was kind of like the face of the overdose in a way. Like, they didn't release the other names up until like a week later. You didn't really know who was involved. So it was like he became like the face of this overdose. It put a bad taste in my mouth, really, because I was just wondering, like, if you seek out a particular drug and it's not that drug, did you OD or was you poisoned? Was it a homicide?
Right.
And then it also convolutes like the conversation around drugs and rehab and like lacing things and fun. You know, it kind of like now you were mixing like the variables of where are people, you know, walking the line of being on the edge, and then where are they really in harm's way as far as just being left up to the possibility of being laced with something. It's just confusing, and I feel like there isn't enough response. There's not enough conversation around it, and I think there's different variables of help and constructive like resources that we could take advantage of, but we're not able to. There's not really widely accessible, and the stigmatism around drugs is so heavy that it's really tough to. And that's why I'm doing this comedy drug show.
Right.
You know, it's just
and like, how do you say that? Like, as far as, what are you doing on October 15th, Taylor? Well, I'm speaking at a workshop for harm reduction with comedy. And they're like, wait, what? And the thing about it is, of course, I think there's a very diplomatic, also delicate, straight to the point way we can take care of that, and we can also cover every single topic. But what needs to be done is, of course, in good taste in comedy. What needs to be done, or what can be done, is the accessibility is very important. Also hitting every single detail. What a lot of people don't know, a lot of people, my audience knows, or my clients or my customers know, that I'm a recovering drug addict. Does that have anything to do with plants? No. Why would I bring that up? And also, it's something that I get stigmatized from even as a sober woman. Mm-hmm. Like, I've lost friends over this. Not R.I.P., they're gone. More so of, I don't want to hang out with you anymore because I think you're gone. You know, like, your personality, we don't have anything in common. Which is kind of true, so I'm glad they're gone. Like, we're not friends anymore. But at the same time, I've even been judged by people saying that, oh, I don't want to hang out with you because I think you're going to guilt and shame me for me drinking in front of you. Girl, I came to a bar.
You don't think I know that there's drinking taking place here?
That's like we go in a laundromat and be like, why y'all got detergent? Right. Who told you to bring that here? Why would I go to something like that?
Yeah.
And it stifled a lot of my relationships in the meantime. And I'm just like, wow, people stigmatize either way. You're kind of darned if you do and darned if you don't. Mm-hmm. But that's just my experience. Nonetheless, what needs to be covered is the two. There's socially acceptable drugs that are legal, but there's socially acceptable drugs that are legal, and that would be alcohol and that would be caffeine. Okay, we can go into all the science of that, blah, 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 blah. That's another show. But nonetheless, the illegal ones, the ones that have been highly criminalized, you know, we remember the war on drugs and things like that. Oh, my gosh, the whole just say no thing was just such a nightmare, especially for people of color. And we're not, you know, I can go on about the crack epidemic and
yeah, I mean, we were all in all the commercials.
All of them. We're the super predators. Remember that?
Yeah, super
predators.
Yeah, basically being the poster child for drugs and especially crack and cocaine. And
oh, my goodness, yeah. There's no talk about. I have so much compassion for people that are still using, and also it might not be an active addiction either. What constitutes addiction? There's a lot of things, right? But when it comes to like casual use, I don't condemn people for doing that because first of all, people need to understand drugs make you feel good.
Drugs make you feel good.
And if you said that in Dare, you would be dragged out. Your shirt would get cut up
by your collar.
Yeah. You'd get expelled from school. And you won't be able to come within 50 feet of a drug dare prevention meeting ever again.
For real.
So that's just what it is. Drugs make you feel good. That's just what it is. And all the other stuff in the meantime, in between time, there's a lot that can be talked about from experience, from science perspective. And I think it just runs the gamut from people that are rehabilitation, not experts, but professionals in that field, and also people that are active users or people that are curious about it, who doesn't have a voice when it comes to that whole thing, you know? Right. Who doesn't have a voice when it comes to, like, we all saw, like, I remember there's a joke in King of the Hill where Hank starts smoking weed, right? Oh, not smoking weed. He hired a drug addict. And Bobby was talking about how this guy came into the school and his name was Too Tall Jones. And he ruined his basketball career. We all remember those guys, right? Like, unfortunately, in my day, they used Daryl Strawberry.
Right.
You know, like, don't be Daryl Strawberry. Right. Don't be Bobby Brown. Don't be Robert Downey Jr.
Well, let's stop there.
I know. I was going to say.
Let's stop there. Hold on. There is no black Robert Downey Jr.
There's not.
You cannot be in Hollywood, made it, fall off, and make it again as a black person.
Yeah.
The closest that we have to that is Samuel L. Jackson.
I was thinking about him. Why was I thinking about him?
Before Pulp Fiction.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay? He got off of that
before
Pulp Fiction. No, he didn't do Pulp Fiction and then do no.
Yeah.
It would have not worked. It does not work. It's so funny because I was like, man, white supremacy is so wild. Like, the way that, like, they're able to make white people famous, and then to be black, you already got to be famous. You know, it's like you already got to have a background and shit like that.
You got to know somebody.
Yo.
You got to have the money already. You got to do a lot. It's too much.
White people, white supremacy, they support their people, man. You go Google John Wilkes Booth right now. You going to find great American actor as the first thing that pops up.
Now,
you think if I shot Biden and killed Biden today, you think 100 years from now it's going to say great American comedian, drug harm reduction expert? No. It's all in
the headlines, though. It's all in the headlines, and that's what captures people's attention. I was actually watching something the other day that if you type in black women on the Google search, you know how the Google search completes it for you? Black women goes blank because the first series of images that used to show up were of adult entertainment. And when you do it for white women, the first images show up are teenage girls with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I never knew what that woman was. I knew she wasn't black, but I never 100% knew what she was. Still to this day, I don't. But I'm not going to ask. I honestly don't care. She's not checking for me. I'm not checking for her. We're both good. We're both existing on this planet at the same time. Now, another thing I want to get into, since this is a plant-based podcast, is aside from your career, right? What is it like? Do you consider yourself a plant-based comedian?
You know what?
Do you bring it up in your material?
I do. There's and off and on. Like I've gone to like Vegan Kickback, which is a plant-based comedy show / like vegan food vendors. They have all these vegan foods out in the OC at this brewery, and there's like 5 comedians, and we all go up and we talk. We're all vegan. We're all vegan comedians, you know. So there's actually a show happening next month that I'm going to do with like a vegan chef that's doing like a 5-course meal. And I'm going to do jokes around that. So it's like I haven't fully found my path into like, I wouldn't say I identify as a plant-based comedian.
Right.
But there are really funny vegan comedians that I like. Preacher Lawson's dope. Drew Lynch is dope. There's a hell of Tony Baker. He's a hilarious vegan comedian.
Tony Baker's vegan?
Yeah, Tony Baker. And his girl is vegan too. I've seen them like at vegan events like in the Valley and stuff like that. But so I don't know if it's corny or cheesy to completely identify as a plant-based.
Were those puns like right there? Vegan. You said corn and cheese.
Oh, vegan cheese.
Vegan cheese.
Yeah, no, get that vegan elote.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, with crushed Takis.
Oh my god.
With crushed Takis, let's go.
We gotta get that after this.
Right.
But I feel like I do think about it. Like I wonder if there's an actual like niche for that and the space for that, and I think there is with all the vegan food popping up. I might blow up faster as a vegan comedian than just a comedian.
I know. I
may need the gimmick of plants to help my comedy career because I'm serious about veganism. I talk about it a lot, and I feel like if I were to talk about it on the stage, it definitely would be polarizing, and it would be fun type of material, and I have material for it, so it would be fun to do. I just haven't like been fixated on doing vegan material, you know, because I feel like I need the space and like the audience for it. But
we'll do it. We're already starting on endeavors on the other, what do you say, unwalked terrain or whatever, the road less traveled. We're already doing that. So just especially with veganism, there's certain elements that come with that. I think your phone died. There's certain elements that come with that, and I have my qualms with the vegan community. As a vegan, as a black comedian, Freudian slip, but as a vegan person that happens to be black, or actually, no, I'm a black person that happens to be vegan. Let me say that correctly. Right. So the thing about it is, like, you can jump into that niche, but like you said, it's going to be very polarizing. Mm-hmm. But we can also create that audience to where people have argued me down, saying that veganism is a white thing, which is not true at all.
Man,
and even if it is, why is that a problem?
Yeah. Why?
Like everything.
And how did white people colonize vegetables?
And how does that come into every single conversation? Like the one thing within the black community that I have always found a problem with is I've been told I speak against my own people when I talk about internal issues, and one thing is the alienation of anything considered alternative. You're white if you like rock music, if you like metal. You're white even if you talk with the tone of voice I have, not in a victimizing way. I've already done my process, but more so of you're white if you. Oh yeah, you've good on the phone. Yes, we're good on the phone. But just another thing is veganism.
Yeah.
You know, that's white people stuff. And that's another conversation that I also want to have, as well as dismantling that. Like,
that would be, and now that you're saying it like that, that would be probably my gas and like gusto to even identifying like that, or even wanting to do more things in that space, because yeah, man, like I remember when I first transitioned to veganism, and my family obviously comes from a background of most people's family. Everyone has like the cook in the family. Everyone has, if you want to get seafood, go to this person. You want barbecue, go to this person. Everyone has their role. So yeah, as soon as I went veganism, like I was hearing that, you want a rib? I won't tell your white friends. I won't tell your white friends that you're eating a rib. Like, what is... Actually, the person that got me to be more vegan is a black person, but What? Yeah, exactly. It's just like veganism, healthy food, eating something that's veganism is also, compared to eating something that's like distasteful or doesn't have any flavor, and that's like associated with white people who can't cook and stuff like that. So it's like there's these weird variables of like, oh, you're eating something that isn't good, is barely even healthy for you, but shh, I know you really want a burger. I know you really want this steak, or you really want this rib. And I've been vegan for like going on 8 or 9 years now.
9.
So it's like,
wow.
Yeah, I have no reason to go back.
Right.
And there's so many vegan versions of any taste or
anything
desire
and everything
that
now.
I would like. And when it comes to animal cruelty, I do not get down with that. When it comes to fucking, mass producing meat and the types of terrible livelihoods that they live, and even the people who are over them, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I've really just thought about it. Like, people ask me, why am I vegan? I'm lazy.
Let me tell you how easy it is. Let me tell you. I'm
vegan because I'm lazy.
Oh, my goodness, because it's associated with, we can get into agriculture, because I studied it for a while when I first started this. And if you want to have night terrors, study American animal agriculture, and a big part of it is overconsumption and waste. My goodness. Anyways, so I started being vegan. I had a 6-year run, and then during the COVID shutdown, I went back to vegetarianism because we have chickens. I didn't eat the chickens, but I went to vegetarianism, and I was eating the eggs. It was mostly out of fear and panic. If you weren't in fear, I don't even know if you were here, but everybody was last year. And so I went back to being vegan 3 days ago. Mm-hmm. And I used to freak out so much. Oh, thank you. I used to freak out so much about what I was going to eat as a vegetarian compared to vegan. I'm like, what's for dinner? Beans and rice. Mm-hmm. What's for dinner? Beans and rice.
Beans, rice, and if you fancy, get a dip or a sauce.
Okay,
you need is a dip or a sauce, and you good.
The dips, like, oh my gosh, like I got this vegan blue cheese, and then I found out hummus is super easy to make, and then also baba ganoush is bomb. Yep. What else is super good? Onion ranch.
Ranch.
Did you know what ranch is?
What is ranch?
It's just dill.
Yeah.
It's just dill and cream.
Yeah.
That dill, cream, and onion powder.
Yeah. Boom.
Why complicate this?
Right.
Why complicate this? But real quick, I want to give a shout out to a new small business from a homie of mine. He actually goes by Devin. He runs Grilling for the People. And when I say it's for the people, it's like straight up for the people. Like, I am a customer. I am a loyal fan. I'd be scratching at his window if he was open right now. I'm not making this up. And he does offer plant-based options. Let me tell you, though. Hold on. He started with a passion for grilling and also bringing fresh food to people. But how he did it, his pop-up was premiere, a little window pre-order. You got a free pack of seeds from my farm, by the way.
Oh, cool.
It was just like one of the throwdown old school methods of how the Native Americans used to grow. You got a free pack of seeds with every sandwich purchase. And I told him, I said, by the way, I'm plant-based. So I usually tell people I'm vegan first, even when I was vegetarian. It's just easy to figure out. Mm-hmm. He delivered the sandwich. Hold on a second.
Yeah, break this shit down.
So he said, by the way, I have a Portobello mushroom sandwich. And I've had the Portobello mushrooms, right? They usually just grill the top and you're done with it. He marinated it. And it was still super firm. And then he put mac and cheese on top of it. And then covered it in a vegetable gravy. With fries. And we already know fries are a vegan option off top. And then he delivered to it, and it was a warm baby. You don't eat babies, but it was like a warm baby in my arms. And I was just like, I'm almost about to cry now. And I haven't had that since last Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And he was just like, thank you so much for supporting me and this, and that. And I just want to hook you up because you gave me all these seeds and, and I'm just trying to start this thing. And he teaches kids how to grow their own food.
Awesome.
And usually that's something you don't touch as a baby. You know what I'm saying? You don't touch that. But he's teaching kids how to grill and trying to grow their own food.
That's awesome. So
shout out to Grilling for the People. You can find them. It's literally Grillin' for the people. Just out there bringing food education. Because home ec, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
There's no one out here.
And it's associated with the girl thing, which is like, homie, can you boil water? Because you could be on cold hot dogs for the rest of your life as a grown man. Get it together. You better learn how to bake a cake and soak them draws. You better learn about some fabric softener. You're not going to make it. Grubhub will put you out on the streets.
You
will not be able to afford rent.
That was my issue during COVID. That's what I went through during COVID. It was like I probably kept Postmates in business. I probably ordered $1 million in food because I was getting bogged down with the ideal of shopping in, for some reason, shopping in bulk and buying food for the week was distasteful because I was so accustomed to ordering out to where shopping felt like I don't want to eat that twice a week.
Right.
You know, why would I get food to make and then possibly have to make that dish a couple of times a week to get rid of the materials, you know? And
the big pot of spaghetti that lasts 5 days?
For some reason, like between COVID, it really fucked me up. I wonder if anybody else experienced that because it really was fucking me up. I was really ordering out food that I didn't really need to, only because I didn't have a desire to eat like the same thing twice.
Right.
I was satisfied with ordering and eating different vegan food every day, and I couldn't see myself like cooking and being like, oh, the 5 days of spaghetti. No.
I'll do it now because I'm on a budget.
I need to do it. No, I know. I'm talking about it because I got a problem.
Right. This is the trick, though. This is what you do. So the only thing, this is a trick. You trick the brain. This actually, companies do this. You trick the brain with the illusion of choice. Just like how people think they have a choice between Pepsi and Coke, but they're owned by the same company. So the illusion of choice is, for mostly, a lot of eating is, of course, palate-based, but we program our palates, right? So I noticed that being a vegan person for 6 years, I realized I'll be like, even if it was like some funk cheese alternative, I knew it didn't taste like real cheese. Of course, I don't really want to go for that. But I still craved that product, right? And then when I started growing food and I would eat it straight up out the ground, like, of course, you should wash it off. I haven't been doing that. Right. I crave radishes now. Yeah. I'm like, it's radish season, dog. Let's get busy. Yeah. Radishes, but I grow watermelon radish. I have to show you the mini farm soon. So I'm like, I want it to rain radishes. Yeah. But then when it comes to other things, it's about texture too, right? So spaghetti, but different types of spaghetti. You trick the mind. You do elbow pasta one night. You do spaghetti the other night. You do fettuccine another night. You know, you could do. Have you ever had potato gnocchi?
Yes.
Yeah. They have sell at the 99-cent store.
They have a cauliflower one now.
What?
They have like a cauliflower.
Okay, I'm sick of that. I'm sick. Somebody said that they're sick of a cauliflower being everything but a cauliflower.
That's
you know
real.
What I'm saying? Like, cauliflower crust is the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. It's just, I was going to say it tastes like butt cheeks, but then everybody's going to know that I've tasted butt cheeks. I have not tasted butt cheeks.
You're like, it's worse than butt cheeks. You're like, oh, she actually she prefers the
It's worse than butt cheeks. She prefers butt cheeks. Hey, depending on who they're on. You know what I'm saying? You can turn down some Megan Thee Stallion butt cheeks.
Yeah, no, probably not.
I won't even turn down Meg the Librarian butt cheeks. Let's go. Meg the Librarian was good, girl.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Taylor, man. You already see what it is. Plug into the plant plug.
Plug into some butt cheeks. But I digress. Sorry. So back to the matter at hand. Another thing that I did want to ask, but peep the spaghetti game. That's free game. Take that with you. And it won't cost you more than $6 or $7. I got you. And then if you get the 99-cent store app, you get $5 off of $25.
Oh.
Yeah, and you get a free item.
Store right around the corner.
And on 9/9, they were giving out like gift certificates.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's different out here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So just because I started making
9/9.
a little more money for the 9/9, I would totally play that song. But we're gonna get hit flagged so fast. YouTube does not play. You know, I got flagged by Diddy.
Oh,
on
really?
The song. Yes.
Oh,
it was like,
God.
burnt. I played a snippet of a song. They're like, nope, owned by
How long
Puff
was the
Daddy.
snippet?
It was like 6 seconds. We were playing trivia.
My
They got me. He owns that Mariah Carey ODB song.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know he owned it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I didn't know he. I was like, he's not even on it.
No. That's the crazy thing about Versus. He's gonna have it and he ain't gonna play none of his songs. It's gonna be
I know.
You're gonna be like, I don't even know he was on this.
So back to the matter at hand. Just resetting the palate and tasting things and also making things accessible and affordable is, I feel like our MO just in general, as well as just dismantling certain beliefs that come with things that just contribute to our overall betterment as an individual and as a community. Mm-hmm. And then where we come in with all the things that we're trying to do is kind of that conviction. without making people feel like they're being sold something or being sold up the river. And then just talking from real world experience. Another thing that I wanted to ask you about, though, too, is how long have you been doing comedy?
Oh, yeah. So I've been doing comedy for 12 years. I was doing comedy
what?
Like a year and a half before Occupy. Like a year and a half, 2 years before Occupy, I was doing comedy.
Okay. For people that don't know, can you tell them what Occupy LA is? And it's the 10-year anniversary.
I know.
It's a 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary, man. Shout out to all the people who came down to Occupy, who was participating, whether you came down for fucking...
And you didn't have to be nobody, too. Some people were trying to be people there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, overall, like, shout out if you came down for an hour or fucking 6 months or whatever the case may be. But... Occupy was essentially like people were galvanized out throughout the city, throughout the nation, actually, back in 2012. Around it happened for us around October of 2012, and we were all kind of called down to City Hall, and everyone who was interested in making change, they came down with their reasons why, And I came down. I feel like a lot of people came down kind of like in a blank slate, just knowing.
Right. Did you become somebody else when you were there, though?
I would say through I would say through like perception, like dealing with other people. Personally, I already knew that I was coming down there to like see how I can participate, but I was just coming off of the tower incident, so I knew. Oh yeah, there was like.
Do you want to let everybody know about that? I know we keep opening different tabs, and I'm keeping
I know.
Do you want to talk about that?
Just look up KTLA man climbs tower. In 2012.
Love it. Okay, back to Occupy. Then back to the comedy.
And then that happened, right. So I feel like I've always like leaned towards like Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney, George Carlin, these comedians that were outspoken and, have like this revolutionary social bit to their comedy. So I always like
Chris
gravitated.
Rock does too.
Chris
it's
Rock
not really
as well.
Talked about.
No, Chris Rock for sure.
Yeah, he does.
No, Chris Rock for sure. Even that last... He has a joke that I repeat all the time. I'm going to mess it up and forgive me, Chris Rock. But he does a joke about racism doesn't exist in the same way. Like back in the day, they had signs that say like black only or white only, yada, yada, yada. It's like there's no signs in Whole Foods that say white only, but a $500 orange shirt does. Something to that extent, something to that extent. He was like, these hotels, they don't say white only, but $1,000 a night sure does. It's like funny. The new racism is
capitalism.
Money.
Remember, we said they're in bed together.
Right.
And they're related.
So, and they're related for sure. So I think coming down to Occupy only gave me even more. So I feel like I did change into a person, but I already knew what I was getting into. Like I already knew I was on this path of like wanting to be revolutionary in some sense. I was, coming in between 20, 21 or whatever.
You were 19?
No, I wasn't that. I was like 21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah, 21, 22.
Because I had to ID some people there at some point.
It was, it was some youngins coming in. But even during then, I was still going to Tribal Cafe every now and then and to the open mics and stuff like that just to practice and get my stuff off. So, I've been doing comedy for like 12 years. And then I went to South Carolina with a friend from Occupy with Lee, actually. I went to South Carolina and was doing comedy out there.
Oh, wow.
Did a summer out there, and then I did a summer... And I bombed hella bad in South Carolina. South Carolina was like interesting. It wasn't a comedy room, it's like a lounge.
Okay.
In the middle of the sticks. Where it's like, there's nothing else to do but this lounge. So it's like, you better make me laugh. Like, because there's an R&B singer who's going to go up and sing to all the ladies.
Right.
There's this other guy who's going to dance and kill it. He's going to kill it every move. Okay. And then I'm coming up after that. I'm like,
no. You should have opened.
It was every week. It was so fun. It was every week. It was like a gym. Every week I was going to this spot in the boonies at this lounge to do jokes, and it was so fun. Like, it was like people loved me. It was great. I just did that for a whole summer. And I want to say around year 5 or 7 is when I got a little bit more focused because I looked up and I was like, I don't know any bookers. I don't have any, like, why am I getting any gigs? What's going on? Because I wasn't really focused on the business side of it. I was focused on, like, the artistry and getting better and just hitting the mics. And I felt like one of these old school comedians. Like, I'm still doing the open mics. I'm not worried about the, the social media and the Instagram and stuff like that. I'm like...
Right, and everybody still comes to that show or comes to that comedy club. And I always wondered what it was like to be like, I wouldn't say famous, but have some notoriety within the field that you want to do. Like, you don't have to be publicly famous, and you don't have to be huge, but everybody knows you're the guy to go to.
Yeah.
You're the guy to go to. Right on. So that's where we met.
Yeah.
That's where we met at Occupy.
Yeah.
I would say, to some people, well, especially what I saw with you, especially from the outside in, a lot of people thought I was a crackhead. Good, because they left me alone. But I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people that...
I didn't get that impression.
Thank you.
You say that, but I didn't get that.
I didn't
even get that from my surroundings. Like, I didn't get whispers of that. Of, oh, Taylor, the crackhead,
Yeah.
Watch out,
Yeah.
I think there's definitely other people who had, serious things going on, and
Real
I'm
serious.
sure we were.
And they
we
didn't
were
look
all,
the part. I could tell you who was doing what and how they got it,
right.
and what they were doing to keep getting it.
Right.
But they did not look the part, which was really, really alarming and really scary. Nonetheless, is that it was more so of, just like you, I had it in me to come forward with that, as far as what my principles and my beliefs were, in a sense of politics remaining for and by the people, which is actually really hard to convince people to do, because politics has nothing to do with the people anymore. Like, y'all gonna do what I tell you. But what I saw you do was you were able to rein in this audience, and you were just so highly respected, and that's what I wanted more than anything. And I had some people that respected me, but not much because who they thought I was. But I feel like I actually played that up because it was a protection for me, being a woman there. We were sleeping in tents on the lawn of City Hall for 2 months straight. Like, the first 3 days I was there, I was slitting. That lawn was super wet because they turned the sprinklers on us, and I was sleeping on top of pizza boxes. Yeah, not vegan pizza boxes. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it was a trip and a half. What was your biggest takeaway from that, though? If you can boil it down to one thing.
Oh man.
It was an anti-capitalist protest. We got that. There was a lot of people with different MOs. I would actually ask people what they're about, and they created camps based on their belief system, which was interesting, and also what their initiative was. Some people just wanted to hook up. Right. I stayed away from Love Tribe. Should have been called Lust Tribe. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And it was gross.
Yeah.
Doing that.
So, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. There was
not
definitely
a shower in sight.
I know. And that's one of the things that I hated about being there. I would actually go to shower to other places. I was actually, like, me and someone else, we got into an argument because I didn't have sex with them because they didn't understand that I felt gross. Yeah. I'm like, hold on, I've been out here for 8 days, man, without a guy. Like,
I'm ripe.
I'm beyond right, man. So as far as taking away, man, it's hard to boil it down in like a sentence or so. But I mean, man, I definitely felt like it gave me it galvanized me and gave me the spirit to always have the courage to act as far as like when there's any wrongdoing around me. And it gave me the spirit of like, it just reinforced my spirit of like social justice and wanting to intervene, but more so as an individual. Right. Like, I know that it's not about people coming together for the sake of coming together. It's more so about the people finding truth and letting the truth lead you to your tribe. Right. So it's like, I rather find my truth, and my truth leads me to the other people who relate, as opposed to being like, we all need to get together. Right. We all need to because that's not how things happen. We've seen that done before our parents. It's like everyone thinks, even the black community, we need to get together. It's like, no, we need a code first. Yeah. Let the code lead us to the people who are in sync with that code. Right. Because until then, we're just going to be kind of pushed off, kind of confused, and co-opted in a way. But I still feel like to this day, everyone who came out there to Occupy are still going to be the hidden first responders to any incident that they're around. Oh. I think people who came out there are definitely equipped to be a pillow to a situation of mistreatment. That's what I would hope. Even people who were out there mistreating people.
Yeah, it was rare, though. It was really, really rare, and a lot of people shine through as far as first aid gone. We had a lot of Marines there, which people really muddle together when you're going for anything type of progressive. They immediately hippie, immediate left. You guys, you don't support the troops. You guys want babies to be destroyed, things like that. And I'm just like, wait a minute. like, let the truth speak to yourself and then bring together your tribe. And that's people started to, within an autonomous space. I think it was pretty autonomous. I'll say, like, it was pretty autonomous.
Was it not funny how once we moved from whatever the south side or when we moved to the south side of the line, wasn't it funny how, and we started, I remember being one of the first persons.
Oh, we were on the north for a while.
Yeah, we were on the north for like that first week.
Yeah.
And then we moved. But as soon as we moved, everyone kind of broke out into their own like camps and shit. And we had like the Keeping It Real section or whatever.
That was you. That was all you.
Yeah.
I was not trying to keep it real. I was trying to keep it hallucinatory. It's hallucinations all the time. I do not. Man,
that was my first time doing acid. That was my first time doing mushrooms.
That was your first time.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah. So, but what I wanted to say was, it's something in the water here. And it's something as far as, like, socially constructed, because without anyone saying anything, the South Side looked like a miniature L.A.
It did.
You had...
And I made fun of that.
The media Hollywood up on the hills.
Right.
You had the South Side area where it was, like, Skid Row, low-key.
Southeast was just... It was... Actually, you're right. It was the perfect depiction of how LA is built.
Mapped out.
Because I would make fun of it. Like, we're on the west side, but we're on the northwest side. And, like, when you go to the northwest side of Los Angeles, you know how they are over there. And when you go to the south side, that's where you can score some good stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you go to the southeast side, we gang banging.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. It was just
this was a protest, y'all. If you don't know, look up Occupy LA. You may find my mugshot. That's where it originates from.
Yeah, you'll find mine, too.
Oh, you have one?
Yeah,
I have 4.
I was arrested during that...
Remember the Chalky-Pie?
The Peyton Manning. Not the Peyton Manning.
Not the Peyton Manning.
I said Peyton Manning. Oh,
Peyton
my
Manning.
gosh. No, not...
Peyton Manning's putting people in jail?
The trans soldier.
I was about to say Sarah Palin Lord.
Oh, my gosh.
Why can't I know who you're talking about, but why can't we get it together? What's the name?
Something Kate Manning. It's something Manning. Damn.
It's not Sarah. I know who you're talking... It's not Caitlyn. They changed their name.
While they were
incarcerated.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but for the life of I'm probably going to scream out the name in the shower later.
Right, and out of sleep. Out of sleep. Clayton, man.
Yeah, I know exactly
who you're talking about. Yeah, so I was arrested
about.
then. I was arrested a couple of times. But then I also got arrested, like, for things, like, outside of, like, related to that, but outside of that.
Yeah.
Like, helping other people, trying to get... I remember when... I was just seeing he just came into town not too long ago. Anthony, light-skinned dude. He moved up to the Bay. Skinny cat. He was like always running around trying to drum up people to protest and stuff like that.
You'd have to show me a picture. Or do you remember what tribe he was in?
I
know. I'm pretty sure I know exactly.
Not directly. Yeah, you would know exactly who it is. But
go ahead though. Go ahead.
I remember just like. He had got arrested at the Bank of America thing, and then we're all outside of the jail right across the street from the campsite trying to get him released, and then, like, we get arrested trying to get him released or something like similar to that.
Right.
So it was just like...
It just becomes the wackiest thing because they put you on the radar for protesting.
Right.
And we were a hot button for the police for a couple years.
Right.
Up until 2012, I was getting arrested on a regular basis for protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was I thought I'd go to jail for other things.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
It is.
And you'd be like, man, again?
It is. But my neighbor used to tell me, she's Trinidadian, she used to say, you're protesting and you're black. You're asking for trouble.
Oh, phenomenal. But what I would say, what is your favorite thing about... Well, one thing I want to ask, who are you surprised, celebrity-wise, is vegan?
Ooh, celebrity vegans. Well, I think... I don't even really know completely, but I'm always, like, anytime I hear wind of Beyonce...
Oh, she did go vegan.
Right, and I hear wind of that, or, like, there was that football player that was vegan, 300-pound vegan. But who am I? Oh, JB Smooth. That's my recent surprise.
Really?
Yeah. JB Smooth, yeah, he's vegan, and he just was on a Just Egg commercial.
They have commercials.
Yeah.
Wow.
Promo.
I have stock in Oatly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
I stock
cool.
in Oatly. We're getting there.
Yeah.
You know, with that. And the thing about it is it can be a lot of fun. You know who I was surprised about? DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, shit. Also, you already know our guy from the Versus battle, Styles P.
Oh, really?
He has a whole juice. That's why Jada Kids killed that Versus.
They look good.
That's why they were in sync.
They look rejuvenated. They got, you know, have you ever seen Backstage, the documentary about Def Jam going on tour? That you're going to need an ashtray just to watch that tour. They were just drinking and smoking and drinking. And you know it's always dark liquor.
Right.
But they just looked so rejuvenated. Like they got their money, they did their time in the rap game, and they just came back and killed, just destroyed Dipset.
Murder.
Dipset, come on.
Yeah, murder. So yeah, Styles P, he's vegan as well.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like this shoved down your throat kind of thing. Like for me, it was always a taper off into getting into veganism. But I saw DJ Paul once at my job when I used to work at Whole Foods, and it was him and his wife, and they just had a pile of vegan food on the conveyor belt, and they were just so happy.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a little Oscar chain around his neck.
Yeah.
And I usually don't say anything when I see celebrities, but when I know their work and I'm like, I like that Oscar dog. Like, too bad that he's like, they wouldn't let me wear the real thing. They said it would break my neck. They have an Oscar. 3 6 Mafia has an Oscar, and people talk about they don't deserve it. You know what? Well, are we having that conversation about who doesn't deserve what? Don't get me started.
Yeah, let's not.
Let them have that, please, and leave them alone.
Yeah, let them have that Oscar.
Well, yeah, we're almost at the end of our show. I want to thank you again. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up on the way out? I do want people to know that I'm going to put on my page, link in my bio, you know, the whole shebang, every single platform that this is going to be on for the Eventbrite October 15th. Please check that out. As far as the harm reduction comedy coffee and donut show
Coffee
this 15th of October on the Lord's Day of October 15th. We're going to have that. Marcus is going to be there. I'm going to be there, and we're going to have the conversation about not so much promoting drug use, just, how do I say this? Recognizing that it is a thing, it will always be a thing. Somebody said, since man has crushed grapes, there has been a need and want for overly intoxication, and people are going to do it. Whether it's a bump or a bag as big as somebody said, don't talk about my mama on the show. Whether it's a bump or it's a bag as big as a watermelon, just please get some tickets and support if you can. And aren't you offering NFTs?
Yeah, yes.
I'm sorry, bring us NFTs.
It's all good. We have an NFT, a harm reduction NFT to go along with it. It's our little mascot logo that we're using right now, who basically is like the reverse drug man. He's not selling drugs, but he's making them safer.
He's offering solutions, people.
Yes.
Solutions in 1 ounce baggies.
Yes, so get an NFT. Check it out. It's really fun graphic that we're going to make T-shirts out of as well.
Right on.
And then other than the drug harm reduction, which you should definitely follow us and check us out, we will be doing it monthly.
Sweet.
A monthly show, and we'll probably rotate from doing it downtown and doing it in Leimert. But we will galvanize people and build momentum around it. And if you want to come check me out, do some comedy, I have a couple of shows coming up.
Tell people where they can find you, first and foremost. Are you on YouTube, Twitter, OnlyFans? I
don't have much of a YouTube, but I do have a only toes happen. Only Mans. That's
only
my.
Mans.
I'm the lonely man.
OnlyFans.
Lonely
Don't be afraid. She sure
lonely
does.
man.
Lonely Mans.
No. I have a small YouTube channel. Don't worry about it. But you can find me on Facebook, Steven Marcus Releford, Steven with the V. Releford, Releford, or on Instagram at Just Vibes Collective. That's my event page, or my full name on my personal page. And I have my shows on there. I have a show coming up on the 16th at Comedy Chateau.
Do you have a website?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a website, but I will.
Okay.
I will. And I have a show at the 20th at the Tao Comedy Club. And then I have a show on the 26th at Thai Angel in K-Town, and then I have a show on the 27th at Accidental Chaos. But
busy man.
We'll see. It'll be better if they were all paid like $1,000 each.
Right, we gotta get you a Cheerios commercial.
That's next.
You'll be good.
You know anybody at Cheerios?
I actually met somebody when I was in middle school whose dad did commercials for a living, and he was paid.
I bet.
And he would have campaigns. I don't see him doing it anymore, but he was that guy in all the commercials. And you still see actors that do that. People really undermine that type of work.
Oh, man. Commercials get bread, especially if you do like a national or international.
Right. So now we are at my favorite part of the show. We don't have a drum roll, but you can imagine it. So it is the plant of the day. Thank you. The plant of the podcast. What plant are we talking about? This bad boy right here. I'm sorry, it didn't really do well on the car ride over here. This is called a lithotop. You can touch it. Go ahead, touch it. It likes to be touched. It's actually a succulent. Okay, so the thing about these succulents is that they do flower in the middle, but if you notice, they are shaped like a rock.
Okay, they
Super easy to take care of. They actually look like they're dying sometimes, depending on which specific species you get. But what they did was, through the process of evolution and to protect themselves, they're full of water. So predators, in order to protect themselves from predators, they started to mutate to be shaped like rocks. And that's why it looks like this. I think it looks like a butt.
It does.
That's
a rocky butt.
If this was a drinking game podcast, you would have had to have 4 shots now, because I mentioned butts a lot in this one. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Wow. It's very soft to the touch. It looks very rocky, right?
Yeah, it does.
But then it opens and splits, opens and splits, opens and splits. It's one of my favorites because succulents are super easy to take care of. One of the biggest problems I see with people getting succulents is that they kill them because they overwater them.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to water them maybe 2 to 3 times a month tops.
Real.
Okay, and then I have this other plant. It was actually gifted to me by our little stand. It is called a, string of bananas.
Oh, wow.
You see how it looks like a banana?
It does look like a banana, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a whole species of these, string of pearls, string of hearts. I also found that there's string of dolphins, and I'm in love with these. I love a hanging plant, but I also love a succulent. So it's both!
It's both.
It's both!
It's both. How beautiful.
Both. Absolutely gorgeous. And now I'm going to ask you, no pressure, but if you need a plant, I know somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any plants in your life?
I would love a plant. I don't have any plants that I take care of currently. Mm-hmm. I have history with growing plants and growing food in various methods. I was doing a whole aquaponics effort for a while.
Wow.
I was teaching people how to grow.
Have you heard of aeroponics?
Yes.
I know.
Crazy,
right?
That's
my goodness.
Madness.
Go for it.
So currently in my space right now, I am not a plant dad currently, but
ideally we all want that.
I should cop a plant real quick. Like, where can I find your stuff, like, right now?
Oh, I'm actually in the middle of South Central, right off of Florence in Vermont. If you want to come visit the mini farm, we're already rolling together, so I can show you everything afterwards. And I have succulents. I actually had fall plants for about 4 weeks, and then the weather started changing, so I'm moving to more of my winter menu if people want to grow fruits and vegetables. So I show people the mini farm. I show them how to create and sustain their own spaces and also have sustainability practices without making them unbelievably expensive. I think a lot of people think organic food and gardening is synonymous with
expense.
Yeah, having the capital. I'm like, oh my goodness. So, but we're going to the hood to go get a plant. So
solid. Yeah,
that's the plan.
That's
the plan.
Down. I need to go to the hood and cop me a plant.
Yeah, we got a lot of good things in store, and I want to thank you for being on here today. I really appreciate
Taylor,
you.
Plant Plug. No, thank you. Follow Plant Plug.
Have a sticker.
No, thank you for inviting me to the podcast. I really enjoy it.
You're the first.
Like, this is a dope. Oh, shit.
You're the first.
Inaugural.
So we're talking about first.
Yes,
You're the first, and, it's going to be what it is, and I'm just really glad to have this platform, have you on here. We've known each other for 10 years.
I know. That shit is crazy.
We look the same, isn't it amazing?
I know, right?
Hey, what's up? But also, I'm very proud of you, and I'm very honored to be a part of the initiative you have going on. It's actually very near and dear to my heart. Harm reduction is actually something that I learned during my using days and actually had to save a couple people in the meantime, but it was very, very, very rare that anybody knew what to do. Mm-hmm. And it could be a very scary situation. So I'm very, very just excited that you're walking into this, especially being honest, being like, hey, I don't know a lot, and just being in a teachable space, headspace, which is very, very important, not coming headstrong, like just thinking that we have to have some type of credentials just to talk about something that's greatly affecting our community. So yes, thank you. So everybody, please subscribe to the YouTube. We are going to post this on Instagram as well. Then hopefully get on Spotify and other radio. SoundCloud? The kids do SoundCloud still?
Apple.
Oh, Apple, yes. Apple Music. The kids do that too. What are the children up to?
Maybe even a little TikTok.
Oh, you know what? Actually, my largest following is on TikTok, and I just cannot with that app because what they want from me, I am not willing to give up. I'm better off having OnlyFans. It's just like, if you guys want me to expose myself at all vulnerabilities and levels, it's just like, I'd rather get butt naked You know, because then I don't have to tell you my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and OnlyFans is actually not for that. I really don't appreciate what OnlyFans has done recently, where they tried to kick off those workers.
Yeah.
With all due respect, people, they built you.
Yeah, I know.
And then be like, just kidding.
And it's like, what are you going to use it for? Now
just kidding.
You branded yourself as this.
They're trying to get fitness creators, musicians, comedians to be on there. Whoever runs that, sir, ma'am, they, them, it's too late.
It's too late.
You guys need to respect, because that's why Tumblr doesn't exist anymore. Y'all playing too much. But yeah, thank y'all for watching the very first episode. Where's the clicker? I gotta get the clicker. Oh. Hold on. I'll grab it. Hold on.
Oh, it's behind you.
Hold on. Don't break nothing. Thank you for watching the very first episode of the Plant Plug PPP podcast, the PPP that doesn't come after you and doesn't. But the feds are watching, people. Don't worry about this one. You can actually get a little bit of this PPP. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
We did it. Yes.
Cut. Awesome.
Thank you.
No, Taylor, this is dope. This is fresh.